welcome.
Welcome. So this week, I've just gotten really excited about sharing about what we're doing. I follow the moon cycle and my harvest cycle regarding the whole year cycle with the moons. And I'm in the student moment where it's when I'm supposed to communicate. And I didn't force it. It came naturally. Like I want to communicate about what we're doing. I wanna be more out there and promote this and share freely, because what we talk about it doesn't have to be always monetized. Like we can share some of the we can share some of the conversations that are some are quite valuable, I believe, and this way people can get to know how we work together and our energy and decide if they want to join the program. So yeah, I'm excited.
I'm excited. I'm so proud of the transparency. To be transparent with the ones that get to watch this, to be transparent with ourselves. Thank you for your transparency. Thank you for your authenticity. Thank you for showing up. How incredible you show up every week, right?
Oh, thank you. It's been a while since you said that. Yesterday I was watching some past videos and you used to always cheer me on, and then I guess at some point you maybe felt I didn't need it anymore because I was like fully committed and fully empowered, I guess. But it always feels good. I appreciate a lot when you cheer me on like that. Thank you.
Yeah, you're so welcome. It's so true also that this is really important. Automatic negative thoughts get generated. Automatic negative thoughts over and over and over and over again. And from childhood, we registered like Teflon, right? Teflon, I mean like Velcro, sorry, not like Teflon. Teflon, it slides off. Teflon, it slides off. But the good things slid off. Our memory of all the wonderful things, our wonderful experiences slid off. And the ones that were bad about us, especially, stuck like Velcro. And so part of our understanding of ourselves is peeling that off, peeling off the negative, automatic negative thoughts associated with ourselves. If you work through every one of your feelings, it's amazing. You're going to start working through the neighborhood's feelings. Then you're going to work through the earth's feelings. And that's where we're at. Right now, the mission of our work together, the reason we're doing this is for the feminine version of humanity being this authentic, this transparent, this sisterly, this motherly, this nurturing, this empowering, this masculine, this, all of it. The grace to give, the grace to receive, and the grace to witness. And I love that we're both teachers and we're both students. I'm going to learn your system. I'm so excited. You know, I've never put myself in a 8-week program that you generated. And so for me to come like, oh, I know this. I did this in blah, 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 Mama Gina's own meditations, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't allow for, and you coming in going, oh, I know medical intuitive.
Oh my God, no, I don't know medical intuitive. I would never be, say that. I mean, that's one thing for me, like our process together has been shifting from, I hired you to be my mentor. So it's hard for me when we connect. Sometimes I don't want to talk because I want to listen to everything you have to say, because to me, you're my mentor. So the switch, like, oh, now we are co-leading. Oh, now she's my mentor. So it's little by little feeling like I can talk like you, I can
Yes.
at the same level as you, and I can interrupt, and I can. So sometimes when I watch the video, I realize I don't say anything. I talk 3 minutes in the video, but because I feel like you're teaching me, so I'm just listening the whole time. I want to take everything in because I don't pretend to know medical, intuitive, anything.
Right. And this is really beautiful, because this is the way I am with you. I'm with every person. The way you are with me at some level, you are with every person. Any man, I'm putting man in the quotes, anyone that you wanted to receive from, you put yourself not as equals necessarily.
Oh, that's correct.
Yeah, they were up here and you were here.
That's
And
correct. So I'm learning to be at your level, like, and marrying you and feeling like I can be with you, not
yes,
below you.
right, absolutely. And it came from generations of it being passed down. Our parents, whatever the parents don't deal with gets passed down to the next generation and the next generation. And either life expands, right?
I have a
Or
story about my father who was slapped by his father when he was over 20, and he didn't respond because he
yeah,
has to respect the father.
right. My dad got slapped at 40. It's amazing that we have parallel stories. I share that story with having witnessed my grandfather, who's a very stern, loving, Gandhi, peace, nonviolent man. It's so funny to say that, right? Slapping his son, worked in the peace movement. But the belief back then was the children, even at 40, my dad's still his child, the bones belong to the family, but the flesh belongs to the community. It's and it's a kind of interesting thing to say, as long as you don't break a bone, you can correct a kid.
Oh yeah, that was in antiquity. I was gonna say not so antique, but that was, yeah. You had to teach your kids, and it was okay to slap them, and
Yeah.
so every generation has done a bit better, and now there is this overly protective generation where they let them do anything and they don't put limits, and they run into other problems. So
Yeah.
this is the way of the world of finding equilibrium at some point, I guess.
Our kids are going to have amazing experiences because the world is balancing out. Before there was all of this violence, and now all of it is parallel, balancing. All of it is becoming so beautiful. Your kids, can you just imagine having a mom and dad that are the absolute communication of seeing that you are a beautiful being, that you have every right to speak and emote and share what's going on with you that they have. Imagine a child being equal with you, and imagine at first you're guarding their spirit, then you're then you're a gardener, then you guide them. And that's the mentorship relationship as well. The reason that I share how incredible you are, it's true. And I'm guarding your spirit until she fully communicates. And she can yell at me if she needs to and stomp her feet.
Don't encourage this. I have no problem yelling at people. No.
Right, all of it. It's delightful. You're delightful. Women are delightful. Women stomping their feet is delightful. Women expressing frustration is delightful. A cat can do a cat meow.
Don't wake her up either, please. Don't wake her up.
Right? We don't ever stop that. We don't ever say, cat, you stop being a cat. We welcome its expression fully. Yeah, automatic negative thoughts come in. In our childhood, they stuck like glue. And now, wow, it's for us to have an accurate self-assessment. Do I need to be the giver? Do I need to be the receiver? Do I need to witness?
Mhm.
So yummy.
Yes.
So we are many weeks into our program. What are you getting for yourself? What are the things? And you're watching the videos and yay, you're publishing them. I'm okay with any of it being published, by the way, any part.
Yeah, I heard you say that again. I mean, sometimes I don't catch up. I don't catch those things. And while I was watching, I heard you say that. I say, oh, she says she's okay, so I can publish them. And of course, I send you always the link and I check.
Yeah, and so I'm going to send you everything and you're welcome to publish it. I want you to thrive with it. I want you to really, and for me, I'm okay with even here, like even though I have that vanity thing, I'm like, makeup would be nice. It doesn't matter to me.
The last video you released of New Year's Eve, I look horrible. I looked at it and thought, oh my God, I looked horrible. I was so tired.
This is what
but it's not there. It's okay.
Yeah, and this is what I want you to get. Your bad days are other people's best days. People get surgery to look like you on a bad day. You are really beautiful inside and out. Truly, truly. However you're showing up. And I really want you to receive that. We tend to be harsh on ourselves. And yeah, so for me, I didn't see any flaws.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know what happened to me last night? I couldn't sleep all night because I have my nail that's going inside my finger, my toenail.
Yeah.
And it felt, I counted. I tried to make a meditation out of it to try and sleep. It was coming like a pain every 4 seconds. So I was counting 4 seconds and I felt the pain. 4 seconds and I felt the pain. And I thought, I'm so lucky because some people, they miss a limb and they have this pain because they're missing a limb, or, this is nothing and I cannot sleep. And I managed to find gratitude in my body anyway, because it's always relative to other people's experiences, right? And I'm sure it's gonna heal pretty fast. And
I want you to soak it in Epsom salts.
Yeah.
And clip it. It's ready to be clipped, is what it's telling you.
No, sorry, thank you. I know, and I have to keep my finger.
And I don't mean it that way. No. I don't mean it's ready for energetically. So it's this.
But it's pushing. I looked at the Chinese meridians. It's pushing at the sinuses, and I'm sick. So I thought that's because my sinuses are full.
That's why I'm saying dip your toe in Epsom salts. Okay. And it's this one, right? It's not the big toe.
It's the big toe. It's a big toe.
It's big toe. So it's on this side of the big toe.
It's on the outer side of the.
It's on the outer side. So it's so funny because these two are not happy of your toes. This is what your body is telling me. These two, you're trying to, and this toe represents how you are in relationship. And this one is your willpower. This part, the outer part, right? So the brain has thoughts, and the thoughts correspond to a history in the body. And so this is your childhood and willpower. This is your individuality. On your feet, your individuality with your partner. Is where this shows up, and then your individuality with yourself is where the pinky shows up. your resourcefulness with yourself on your feet. So funny. If you look at the brain, every point records thought, records emotions, records, and then it branches out basically like a tree. And it's so if you have a thought, it affects a part of the limb of the tree, and it affects the root, the brain, the stem of the tree as well. So your brain is the energy with this has to do with really freeing your genetics, freeing yourself, wanting this for everyone in your lineage.
Yeah.
Not forcing sinuses, and this not forcing others to be like what you think they could.
It's crazy because it's just what I wrote in my newsletter yesterday. I shared about the story of my parents very shortly.
Yeah.
And I said that it was good for me to learn to let go of trying to change others and let others take their own decision. And then at night I have this problem with my food. I did not put this together.
Right, right. This is why medical intuitive work is so beautiful. Soak it in Epsom salts. Put your foot, toes. So there's this a story in the Bible of this woman looking back and getting stuck as salt. The city was being destroyed. I want to call it, he was told to walk forward, don't look back. His family was going to be saved. And he shared this with his wife. He shared this with his children. His wife turned back and looked, and she became a pillar of salt. He couldn't even look back. He could not look back to see if there was a part of her stuck. He had to keep moving into the present, into the current moment. This is the story of how the body turns into nourishment for the next generations. Salt of the earth. You can be dirt to dirt, right? Salts, the salt component. The saltiness of being stuck. If you salt something, it's not flexible. It doesn't move. And so you're causing the movement by adding the salt to your toes, the Epsom salts. You're helping remove from the generations this thought that people are a fixed way, that they can't change from what they were in the past. Being willing to believe, oh my gosh, being willing to believe your parents could be different. Men, women, children, everything can be different, is what you put on those two especially, those areas. Yeah.
And this morning I thought tonight I will dip my toe in water, but I didn't think about the salt.
Yeah. You put the salt from the outside, it breaks up the salt from the inside.
Yeah, osmosis is coming out, right? I'm a scientist too, but I'm not a medical intuitive.
You're a scientist too. It's amazing. It really is osmosis. And that whole process of, and then afterwards just putting on oils and socks. And it will heal the sinus up here too. That's great. Yeah. And I'm so excited for us. So excited.
Yes.
Yay. So we're talking about what you're getting. We're at a marker point. The new year is about to start. This new program that we've developed is starting. Tell me what's happening with you.
I'm shifting because I was focused on me. So it's 100% transparency and honesty. Like, I want to change my life. I want to be happy. So I want to share my teachings because I want to be happy. Yeah. And now I'm shifting to, oh my God, it's so important. to actually, I felt it, but now it's even clearer. It's like, okay, this is so important for the next generation, for our girls, for the women in the whole world, that we bring this out. Because I was listening to one of our conversations about Egypt, and I didn't catch that. I didn't realize you were saying we are going to transform, we are going to shift the life of women in Egypt, all of women in Egypt, through this work. And I don't see how yet, I don't understand, but I'm motivated by that. It's like, okay, this is, the aim is not me being able to quit my job and work with this, which I love more, which is a nice result, but the aim is more like helping grow healthy little girls and helping healing the generation trauma. And I had an idea that it would be amazing that on our trip to Egypt, we take 3 people, the daughters, the mother, and the grandmother.
Yes.
That would be amazing to have this kind of groups joining us. Like the mother, if the grandmother is wealthy enough, maybe she can invite her daughter and granddaughter.
I've already worked with grandmothers and mothers and daughters, and I want to make sure that we get this very subtle point in. And this very subtle point that I want to make sure that we get in is, this is for the men too.
No,
men,
of course.
And this is, let me finish this thought. Men born of women, right, that are fully empowered, emperors, pharaohs, the kings, queens, the highest purpose on the planet, that everyone is born to be a king, a queen, a pharaoh, respected completely and utterly. Men born of women that didn't have that support. This is for every male child as well, to be born fully empowered, because they haven't even felt their full power, because they haven't.
And they're angry with their mothers because they didn't raise them with the love and nurturing and protection that they should have, which is why we have all those wars.
They're mad with themselves, men and women. They're angry with their fathers and their mothers. It's easier to recognize being angry with your mother than it is to recognize being angry with your father for most people. It's a lot easier because of the nature of language. Nature of language is very precise, and masculine energy has precision. So over generation to generation, precision has been valued more than the complex whole. So women have blamed their mothers and boys have blamed their mothers more than they have the fathers. And
this was not my experience because of my childhood and the way my father was. But I realized later that I was also angry with my mom. But I was so angry with my father that I didn't realize I was also angry with my mom. It came later for me. So yeah. It's curious. It's not something I experienced.
Most of us, we're so blessed to have had our fathers raise us, being in the home. My mom, right, my mom's father had 4 wives, or 4, right, a lot of children. She had a lot of brothers and sisters. My dad's father, again, and it's been generation after generation after generation that women and men have not had 24/7 with their fathers. And they get the information secondhand from their mother. Wait till your dad comes home. You're going to be punished, right? The authority of the woman came from the authority of the man for many, many cultures, for many, many generations. Asian, even South America, a lot of Europe. the women's power is only backed if a man backs her, is multiple generations of that. Even the priests, the holy people, all being men. If a holy person said, if a holy person said a woman
He's not happy about this subject.
if a holy person said a woman is not to be trusted, there was nothing that woman could do.
Yeah.
And generation after generation of that. So men have a responsibility that's not meant to be theirs over and over and over and over again from generations. It's meant to be, whether you're male or female, right? The physical body is maybe feminine, the light body is masculine. The other way around, a physical body might be masculine, the light body is feminine. And so men didn't get permission to be themselves either. They are, it's funny, victims of a system that's been broken for a long, long time. And we are correcting that by going into these temples. We don't know how they were built. We can't remake them the way that they were made. When we go into these temples that exist all over the world, we're choosing the ones in Egypt. They exist, Earth has created them in caves, the same vibration in multiple places. We're going to take our whole self and we're going to do the mental work, the emotional work, the physical work, so that the spirit of all of the subtle energy within humanity transforms to give men their, I'm putting this in quotes, due respect, women their due respect, and thousands of years of peace come forward from each of us recognizing ourselves as whole, holy, nothing missing. A man is not completing a woman is not completing a man. We're both all sovereign.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so it is.
And so it is. And then children born of this nature, oh my gosh, what will humanity create when the children are born with equal respect to their parents, right? It's not, you have to listen to me or you have to listen to the kids. It's balanced. What's that gonna feel like? Wow. Connected to all of the elements and the elementals, connected to wholeness. When
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I went to see Avatar. I went to see the second Avatar.
Yeah.
We talk about connected to the elements. And then I saw a review on the internet of somebody criticizing it and saying that it's making people to feel depressed because they want to live in Pandora. And I said, but this is an allegory of Earth. Earth is Pandora. If you feel depressed because you are cut out from nature, you are cut out from your powers and your connection with the everything. So if they're depressed, they should spend more time in nature, not because the same people are talking about suicide after watching Avatar because they're depressed about their life. Of course, we're depressed about our life when we compare to Avatar, but this life to me, I think it's possible here. It's possible on this planet to connect with the trees, with the animals. Okay, we don't have the same animals, we don't have the same trees that are flashing in the night, but it's Earth is Pandora. We can make it Pandora.
Earth is Pandora, and our trees breathe. For those that have the eyes to see it, like you're so connected to your cat, you can feel your cat when you're away from your cat, right? You can feel the pain. This is what the people of Pandora, the people, I'm putting that in quotes, right? The people of Pandora, it is a way that was demonstrated. This allegory, this story is how humanity, the right now, those that have their third eye open can experience their animals, can experience the trees, experience the vibrancy. So funny because mushrooms, right? The psilocybins, when you're on those, you can hear the communication with the walls, with the earth, with the, there's access to deeper parts of yourself. It's quite,
you know, I'm convinced that James Cameron probably, because he created this based on dreams, so he probably had a past life in Atlantis or something. But I don't know how conscious he is of everything that he's bringing in those movies, because he's bringing a lot of layers about a lot of things about.
And anyone that is, so James Cameron made the movie Almost Famous, right? He was a writer. He was born of a mother. It's his mother was so proactive in protecting her kids' spirits. And her, it's so funny to say that out loud. His mom was, she wasn't into drugs. She wanted to keep them safe. She was very, very strict. And what I understand is his elder sibling ran off, and he was left with his mom to deal with, you know, and loved his mom so deeply. And the elder sister, the elder sibling came back as well and fell in love with mom and the preciseness. But his mom was really, really strict and pushed education and pushed, James Cameron is very, very, very smart, connecting lots of dots from childhood, and started writing for magazines and articles at a very young age, woke. And so it's no surprise that he probably did mushrooms and went to
Went to Pandora.
went to Pachamama, right? Went and sat with with those and Pachamama Alliance and the natives of the ayahuasca journeys and going into the deep wilderness. I do believe Earth was a lot more wild than it is now, and that we had so many creatures. We do have species of fireflies, of algae that glow in the dark, of fish, of so many beautiful animals that
I don't know if you have the same expression in English. In French, we say that reality is worse than fiction.
right, reality is more interesting than fiction.
Yeah, it's more, I mean, it's worse in the sense it's even more than fiction.
Yeah, it's they do have that expression, which is it'll pop back into my head the exact way that they say it, but it exists here too. All right, so we're about to bring a program together. We're going to very powerfully do all of this amazing work with all of our chakras. We're going to have access to all of the insights that our body wants us to know, so we can do the big fun work that we came into life for. The reason I'm doing this course, the reason that I'm doing this with us is because I see you, I believe in you. I see me, I see humanity, and everything that I have, I want to give forward to the next generations with spontaneous cooperation, with equality and ecological abundance.
Yes.
Yeah. And so we're starting a new cycle of a year, new cycles of moons, new cycles in the cosmos. So I'd love for you to, what drives you? What motivates you? What causes you to become that most abundant, most prosperous, most generous, most giver, most receiver, most witness version of yourself?
Bringing joy and bringing pleasure, and connecting with love, with people, and freedom. Freedom is getting scarce. We need to help each other stay free and become even freer, and yeah, generate our own reality. Stop believing everything that's said to us, and connect to our body. And I want to embody, I want to walk the talk and talk the walk, and be able, like, to manifest being in Egypt every 2 or 3 months, and going to Italy, to Greece, to Peru, and taking groups with us, and being able to share all this power that lies within us, that we can tap into if we wake up, because we are under sedatives. My sedative is food. I need to let go of food very soon. This is my sedative. Everybody has their own addiction, I guess, and this is something I'm still working on.
I love that. What do you love most about yourself, Letty? What do you love?
I think I'm really funny. I think I'm really fun, and I bring up the energy, I think, in a room.
Yeah, you bring up
when I'm in a good mood, because when I'm not in a good mood, I'm not funny at all. I'm intense. I bring intensity wherever I go.
You're intense wherever you go. I love that. I love that. And the thing that I love about it, you're so funny. You're so much fun to be with, and there's no pretend. I don't get any pretentious or pretend energy in your field. You are what you are. And when you're angry, you're not pretending to not be.
No, I can't. I just can't pretend. I don't know. I should take acting classes, maybe.
Why? Right?
Yeah.
Well, a cat can express it. A dog can express it. And there is this energy of something moves through you and becomes better for it. Something moves through you and becomes better for it. Rainbows, right? The red in the rainbow is as necessary as the blue in the rainbow is as necessary as the yellow. Every emotion is necessary. When we watched Pandora and we saw, or Avatar, and the feminine of the species, right, got angry. We didn't say they shouldn't get angry. We're like, yes, you have every right to be angry.
True.
Yeah. And so to give yourself that permission too. So beautiful. And so I used to have rage. I used to, and it was generational passed down rage, right? That inability to stop. So rage is different from anger. Blame leads to rage, leads to violence. Blame, rage, violence. When you get to blame, I see the word blame as be lame. So you're being powerless. You're being not speaking. You're being so when you get to blame, you are displacing pain. Those are Brene Brown's words in her research. Brene Brown, the power of vulnerability, all of that. Blame is displaced pain. And whenever you notice yourself or you notice another going into blame, being lame, somebody has to catch the pain. Somebody has to go through the emotions or the energy of being okay that there is pain around. That's what gets us out of rage.
Yes.
Yeah. And so let's talk a little bit about rage. What's happening in that? Because we just had intense times.
Yes. I'm doing so much better with that. I used also to have a lot of rage and could lash out at someone for nothing, like being late 20 minutes. Your heads would be. Everything was making me very, very angry. And I'm very proud that I'm able to be assertive now and to mediate. Is this really worthy of a rage response? And yeah, I don't live with so much rage and anger, and I don't feel that I'm bypassing it. You know, in this spiritual community, there is this talk about, oh, be love and light, and that's bypassing. Yeah. This is not what I'm doing. If I'm angry, I'm just gonna say it, maybe stomp my foot or do something, and then I choose to let it go. It's like, okay, I'm not gonna spend 2 hours or 2 years being angry again.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. And it's not personal. That's the big thing, is emotions, mental thoughts, automatic negative thoughts are not personal. They got Velcroed in childhood. They got passed down from generations. Automatic negative thoughts create, and so having a formula for how to process automatic negative thoughts. Part of the work that we'll be doing together on that next level, because each one of the chakras, each one of the systems has automatic negative things associated with it. And as we do our work, humanity, the near neighbors work, generational work comes up. And so we're going to deal with each one of those all the way through. Just, I'm so proud of you, Letty.
Thank you.
I'm so proud of me. I'm so proud of us. I'm so excited because what I see is giving people freedom and choices. How good does it feel not to have rage, right? For me, oh, wow. How good does it feel?
So much lighter. Yeah. And you're not consuming yourself and not creating disease in your body, and it's just so much better. So much better. You know, I used to do boxing. I did boxing for 6 years. Thai boxing, 8 points. And I broke a nose, and I broke people's bones, and I didn't enjoy it. I felt terrible after.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I realized I thought I did it because I thought it was gonna help me release the anger and the rage.
Yeah.
But I just felt like it was just keeping me hooked on it. It was just an addiction to this violence, and I ended up hurting my body because I had a lot of strength and I was hurting my back.
Yeah.
And I just stopped, and I went into belly dancing and booty dancing and swimming, and I found my femininity again. That was part of my path to let go of the distorted masculine in me and embrace the feminine.
Letting go of the distorted masculine within you to embrace the true feminine. Wow. Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like I've had 10 lives. I don't know who I was like 10 years ago. It's really strange. Really strange.
it's really beautiful to not know who you were 10 years ago and love yourself for who you were 10 years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it's amazing because all emotions are addictions. And if you are holding an emotion for longer than 2 minutes, you're addicted to it. I want to say that another way. Unless you're moving or a spouse dies or a parent dies, unless there is real stress, and real stress can be a lot of different things to a lot of people based on the genetics, what's passed down from generation to generation. So if your mom had a hard time with a flat tire, for example, and it got passed down generation to generation, and all of a sudden you get a flat tire, that could be your big stressor. That's the same as divorce. It could be the same as a family move at childhood. It's been passed down generation to generation. If you get like a flat tire and you're sitting on the side of the road and that emotion is longer than 2 minutes, the sadness, the overwhelm, there's something else. There's an addiction that got passed down, an emotional addiction. When there's, go ahead.
Yeah, and sometimes in the spiritual community and in those courses, you find to heal, there's an addiction to healing, I found, and which is why I like there was a concept that I really liked. I don't remember who it's from. That when you have a bad thought, or when you try to meditate and a bad thought comes, or you remember something from your childhood, very traumatic, and it comes in, instead of holding it to it, it's like when you poop, you don't hold on to your poop. You're like, okay, just go. You flushed. It smells bad. It's horrible. It was really painful. Maybe if you were constipated, I don't know. And you flush it. And it goes. And next thing, because otherwise we start to identify ourselves with our traumas, with our emotion, with our worries, with our stresses. And we want to heal, and you end up doing 20 years of courses, and this is not the point.
It's not the point. True healing is flushing the poop.
Yeah.
and knowing more poop is coming. And every time you poop, new can come in. The next level of nutrition, the next level of thought, the next level of evolution within yourself. And it's a journey. It really, truly is. You're never meant to be stuck in a vibration, in an emotion, in a thought. Cycles will come around. Just like the Saturn returns or the lunar cycle, women's cycle naturally cycles with the moon. You can know your cycle based on the moon. It's quite incredible, quite a gift.
And I recently learned, maybe you know that already, that through the menstrual cycle, you cleanse the womb.
You cleanse the womb.
Bacteria and viruses that might have gone there from intercourse or anything. This menstrual cycle is very cleansing, actually.
It's blood is your joy for men and women. And women who are joyful about their menstrual cycles cleanse so differently than women that are stressed about their menstrual cycles or that are resistant to their menstrual cycles. Joy, your blood literally transforms pH levels with thoughts. You have a stressful thought, your pH level, and when I say stressful, what I mean by that is if you're not okay with the thought that you're having, you're like, why am I having that thought? You just created stress, not the why. But if you're judging yourself is what I mean.
Bad about yourself.
Yeah, when you're feeling bad about yourself, but judging yourself for that thought or that emotion or that whatever, it changes your pH to be negative. and I'm putting negative, meaning it makes it more acidic versus more alkaline. So a stressful to yourself, a thought that you're judging yourself for, causes dis-ease in your body. And the feminine cleanses herself every time she has a menstrual cycle. The masculine cleanses itself in ejaculation. This is why men that don't have wives or sex frequently wind up with prostate cancer. And those that have a great deal of natural sex, meaning it's not an addiction, it's conducive to the body, they don't wind up with prostate cancers. It's a very interesting thing for the masculine and feminine. Women also heal through orgasm. It's amazing. Spontaneous healing that happens every time a woman orgasms. The X chromosome, right? Women have 2 X chromosomes. Men have an X and a Y chromosome. They're missing the component. Expressed in every one of their cells. It's quite fascinating. So women have more ways to stay connected. Men have the part that's missing in that expression is given to them in partnership, whether it's with another man or with another woman or with an animal or with that men have to have the nurturing component for the unseen part of themselves to be expressed. Women have a different process. Anyway, that's more of what we can jump into at some point in the courses.
The one thing I want to comment is I'm promoting semen retention for men, but I believe that when correctly practiced, you don't hurt your prostate because you bring the energy up.
Right.
And I'm sorry, I'm going back to Avatar, but have you seen it?
I have. I love it. Yeah, the second one. And
you see that they collect the Amrita from the pineal gland of the whale. Sorry, spoiler alert. Spoiler alert. Jump. Don't listen. I put the link.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I don't know if James Cameron knows or doesn't know what he's doing, because he's talking about Tantra, about bringing the energy up to your third eye and creating Amrita.
Yes, for men and for women. And one of the ways to do it is to retain your sexual energy. Another way to do it is to maintain hunger. If you're hungry, sexual retention or hunger retention, you can create Amrit. It's also from not speaking. It's amazing, right? We get that the vagina, the penis, the foreskin is all the same neural crest formation. Another way to say that is
in the womb before you become a man or a woman, it's the same. Is the same tissue. It's the
same tissue, and it's so important to understand. We have made sex so special because we've put it on a shelf. Osho, a long time ago, said. Osho was a spiritual teacher in India, and he said, cats and dogs play with each other before their hormones kick in, so that cats and dogs, and said another way, female cats play with female and male cats. Female dogs and cats, female puppies, male puppies play with each other before the hormones kick in. Human babies, right before, if it wasn't sexualized in childhood, if children could just be kids and explore like a female kitten explores with a male kitten, or a female with a female, or a male with a male. Same thing with the dogs, male dogs with, they, you know, they, we humans project our thoughts onto our children when they're just learning about their bodies, and we are sexualizing their learning, and we're putting sex or that learning about themselves, we're separating it into judged thoughts. Osho said we should let children just be children with each other. Don't put your thoughts of what they're doing as they explore themselves before their hormones kick in.
Yes.
Children with
Well,
children.
as long as I can remember, my father told me girls play with girls and boys play with boys. He deserved to have a lesbian girl and a homosexual boy. But no, we are both straight. Think we would have killed him.
Great. It's so beautiful to see what naturally occurs in nature, what naturally comes forward when we don't project our understanding of our personal nature onto the next generation, when we can take responsibility and go, oh, tell me what you think as you're doing that. Tell me what you feel. And we guard their light, their lightness, their joyness, the next generations. First we guard, then we garden, and we pluck out the parts, and then we just become a guide. And that's what we do in this work. At first, we're going to teach what you guard and each of the frequencies, what you guard in yourself. Then garden out the thoughts that don't work, that work. We pluck the weeds, the automatic negative thoughts. Then people are able to be guides for themselves. Their body is turned on, and it's a co-partner with the natural processes, the natural, and instead of taking, I think for you, maybe 10 years, you said you've been on this journey. For me, from childhood, I'm so grateful to my grandmothers and my family for that energy of being able to protect my third eye being open, seeing and speaking these things, even going to medical school and all of the processes so that I can bring this subtle information forward, and all along the way being in this healing journey. I mean, a village girl from Pakistan, right, winds up here in California, and amazing, the village that you were born in, the place that you're born in, winds up communicating with and leading retreats all over the world, working, right? I love the people I get to work with. I love the brilliance that they bring forward into the world, to be the guard, the guardian, the guide to that, the gardener to that. So such a gift. Same thing for you, right? The people you get to lead, and because you're doing the work, it's beautiful.
Yeah, I have very good relationship with some of my clients, some of the women who joined the course before. They have become some of them my best friends, you know. Yeah.
It's really,
and I'm always so happy and so proud when I see the evolution. So happy to see the increase in confidence and the liberation and the joy of being who you're meant to be, right? And to enjoy your body how you're supposed to enjoy it.
to enjoy your
and
body.
however you choose to enjoy it, not how you're supposed to enjoy it, however you choose to enjoy it.
You choose to enjoy it. And for me, it's the doctors and the teachers and the policymakers, right? They are getting this wise information about themselves so that when they make policies or when they make medicine or when they make for the next generation, it's with full sight, knowing themselves that the policies, the art that affects so many, or the medicine that affects so many is made. I love that it winds up being influenced into the multiple generations because they can see themselves and accurately, fully, joyfully create. It's such a gift. I love that you, I love you. I know we're going to stop this recording here and we'll start a second one.